Let's shred V-Shred. What's up, guys? It's Friday, and so you know what time it is. It's time for What the Fitness. Like it, subscribe, comment, algorithm. Let's go. You know, we haven't done a V-Shred video in a while. In fact, I feel like V-Shred is very underrepresented on this channel considering the level of bullshit. I got sent this. Honestly, I was really disappointed. Full disclosure, Dr. Drew is in this ad for V-Shred. I was on Dr. Drew's podcast a few years back, and I actually liked him. He seemed like really knowledgeable guy, and so this was very disappointing to me. This highlights that people can be knowledgeable in one area, and it doesn't necessarily translate to another area. But let's watch the ad, and we'll see what we see.
This is a metabolism killer, this is a metabolism killer, and this is a metabolism killer. If you're over 40 and are running on the treadmill endlessly and eating salads all day just to lose a few pounds, just stop and listen to what I'm about to tell you. In your 20s, it's easy, right? Put on muscle easily, we're fit, we got tons of stamina, tons of time sometimes. But as you get older, you may not be able to lose weight as quickly or as easily. You may not be able to put muscle on so easily. And you may think or may have been told that there's nothing you can do about it. Well, that isn't true. This is how to get in shape fast. Dr. Drew here. When it comes to cardio, it's true that it burns calories, mainly in the form of carbohydrates free in the blood. But here's the deal. After you work up a sweat, your body tends to replace those calories with your next meal. Steady state cardio can actually release cortisol. Cortisol, of course, is your body's stress hormone, and it's not what you're looking for. It could lead to further muscle breakdown. If you don't like doing steady state cardio, don't do it. Number one, it's not a great way to lose weight. And number two, you're going to hate it. If you hate it and it's not working, you will eventually give up. Dr. Drew and my wife Susan here, we want to show you something. You've probably seen this guy all over your feed claiming that cutting carbs isn't necessary for weight loss. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but let me tell you, there's more to this than meets the eye.
The science of weight loss was cracked a long time ago. It's not a trend, it's facts. Following all those like trendy fad diets, all those trending workouts that you see online is literally a waste of time. There's already a proven research-backed way to lose weight and keep it off.
I decided to delve into this topic and do some research. Turns out this guy is a celebrity trainer who's gained a massive following for challenging mainstream advice. He claimed...
we're gonna just... he's gained a massive following because he runs hundreds of thousands of dollars of YouTube ads every month, just like this one. This is disappointing. V-Shred's whole thing is about this is a metabolism killer and this kills your metabolism. You keep using this word metabolism. I don't think it means what you think it means. So your metabolism is the summation of the metabolic reactions that capture the energy from food, and that can be expressed as a rate, your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. And if we look at people who are overweight or obese, we look at people who are type 2 diabetic, and we look at their BMRs, we do not see differences when you control for lean body mass. In fact, actually, you see greater BMR in people who are overweight and obese and have type 2 diabetes compared to lean people. But when you standardize for lean mass, you really see no difference between the two. What are we talking about these metabolism killer foods? A slow metabolism is not why people are gaining weight in their 30s and 40s. In fact, there was a really great study done by Herman Pontzer that shows that basically energy expenditure stays very stable from about age 20 to about like age 65, 70. Now, is it true that it can be harder to lose weight and put on muscle when you're older? Yes, but that is because we have higher levels of stress. People drink more, people have more responsibilities, they have less time, they sleep less. It is a lifestyle issue. And this idea that you shouldn't do steady state cardio because it's only burning the calories in the form of carbohydrates in your bloodstream and you're just replacing those with your next meal. So what happens if you don't do cardio? What about that meal you're eating? Well, now you're piling on top of the carbohydrates you didn't take out of your bloodstream, and it's all going to fat. This completely and utterly neglects the fact that we are always using energy. Okay, your BMR is always going. If you had to burn off every single thing that you ate, you would literally never stop moving. That's not how this shit works, okay? You have your BMR, which for most people, probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 calories a day. Some people like me with more lean mass, it's up to around 2,000 calories a day. But again, that is going in the background. It's not super modifiable. It can change, but tends not to have big fluctuations. What is modifiable is your physical activity, which can raise your total daily energy expenditure. It may not raise your BMR, but your BMR is only part of your total daily energy expenditure, which is the summation of the energy you expend during the day. So telling people not to do cardio, it's a waste of time. I mean, is steady state cardio a great way to lose weight? If you do an hour of steady state, you might burn 300 to 500 calories, something like that. You can very quickly replace those if you're overeating very easily. So is it a great way to lose weight? No, but it's part of a strategy. One, because yes, you are burning some calories. It can help create a deficit. But two, they've also shown that exercise can help control appetite. But we're kind of getting past it, which V-Shred's whole thing is, you got to eat right for your body type. He's got these ridiculous quizzes on his website that he acts like are just this like super special formula. So you mean this celebrity trainer with absolutely no credentials in science whatsoever is somehow living in his mom's basement, well, not now because he's made a shitload of money, but started out living in his mom's basement. I don't actually know if he lived in his mom's basement, but just go with the joke. Somehow cracked the metabolic code where scientists with the most advanced instruments to look at these sort of things are just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's basically a calorie deficit, but he cracked the code. And he kind of pitches this, well, you can eat as much as you want if you're eating right for your body. Listen, the whole body type thing, endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph, has been debunked. It's not real. In fact, you can find pictures of like the same person looking like each particular body type. I'm thinking about Christian Bale. I'm thinking about Jared Leto. If you look at them in different movie roles, there are movies where they look like gaunt ectomorphs. There are movies where they look like mesomorphs. And there are movies where they look like endomorphs, which basically is more body fat. So this idea that there's a specific diet that you got to eat for your body type, body types are not a thing. I believe this, I don't know, how old am I now? I believe this like 23 years ago. And then thankfully, I actually started reading scientific research. I actually used some, basic logical deduction and figured out pretty quickly that, oh, this is not actually a thing. This isn't actually a thing. Because I myself have looked like an endomorph at times, and I myself have looked like an ectomorph at times, and I've looked like a mesomorph at times. Because if you lose body fat and get really skinny, you look like an ectomorph. If you gain body fat and you get heavier, you look like an endomorph. And if you lift weights and build muscle and have a low amount of body fat, you look like a mesomorph. It really is that simple. You don't need to change the way you eat for this stuff. But this preys on people who feel like, oh, he's right. I've been killing myself with cardio and these workouts. And he is right about one thing. Following fad diets, not a great idea. But please explain to me when this dude's stuff is coming up on literally every YouTube video. In fact, I'll bet it comes up on this YouTube video when literally every single YouTube video has this dude's ads on them. How is this not a fad diet? There's no scientific evidence to support this. So I gotta say, I am pretty disappointed that Dr. Drew was in it. I understand people gotta make money, totally get that, but there are ways to make money that involve not propping up people who are full. Maybe Dr. Drew used this stuff and it worked for him because, hey, people will say, well, what about the results he gets? I'm not saying the results are fake. A broken clock is right twice a day, all right? And very rarely is somebody's strategy to get people healthier to be like, you know what, just eat as much McDonald's and hyper-processed food that you want and you'll get shredded and don't lift. Like that? No. Like usually, regardless of the diets that they are using, a great example is like the alkaline diet, right? You're like, well, I did the alkaline diet and I got healthier. Yeah, you started eating more fruits and vegetables. Wow. And you lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Wow. So it's like the Gary Brecka, Dana White thing. Look at my triglycerides. You lost 40 pounds. Of course your triglycerides got better. I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying it's not working for the reasons he's saying it's working for. It's because you were in a calorie deficit. Human randomized control trials. Sorry, I felt like I had to throw it in. Catch you guys next week.